be chatting a little bit and then say, here we go.
It's time for Dents and Dreams, a paintless dent repair podcast focusing on how you can use the fruits of this wonderful trade we call PDR to achieve your wildest dreams. I'm John Bideen, your friendly neighborhood dent reaper and host of Dents and Dreams. Now, let's get started.
Let's get started indeed.
Sounds like
Today,
a plan to me.
We got none other than the man, the myth, the one and only Gene Fetty. Straight out of Pittsburgh? Straight out of Pittsburgh.
Straight out of Pittsburgh, baby. Thanks for having me on, John. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Pleasure's all mine. Thanks for being on. I'm sure, everybody who's been in PDR for any length of time, I'm sure knows who you are. But why don't you give them a brief synopsis? How'd you get into this wonderful trade we call PDR? And
all right. Sure. So I'll give you so this is actually my 20th year. I started in October of 2002. So I am at 20 years right now. How did I start? I went to school for computers, right? Which definitely leads right to dent repair. Anyways, went for networking, web design, got done with that right when the .com fell apart, right? Could not find a job. My best job offer was like $7 an hour at a computer store, but really they just wanted me to stock shelves. So it wasn't even like really a computer job. While I was in school, I detailed, and with that awesome job offer, I was like, I will just keep detailing cars. But detailing wasn't what I wanted to do for a job or forever. And a handful of years later, I started thinking, what can I do? Right, I got to get out of detailing. Outdated on computers. Right, I'm probably 3 operating systems behind at this point. So I started looking at the people that came into my shop that I dealt with. Didn't want to sell cars. These vendor things are pretty cool, right? Dent guy, touch-up guy, wheel guy, interior, all of that stuff. Started talking to them about their businesses, and this dent stuff seemed pretty simple. You get trained, you get a gun case full of tools, a fluorescent light, throw it in your truck, and man, you make the big bucks. And I was in. And then from there, went to the Paint Bowl up in Michigan for training. And worked my butt off. Luckily found a mentor named Jay Doozer who went through Dave Shalot's class at Dent Wizard, took me under his wing. And today, here I sit, right? Halfway decent at dent repair now.
Bada bing. Halfway decent at dent repair.
Yes. Yeah, so that's how I got in the industry.
That's awesome. So it was called Paint Bowl?
Yeah, the Paint Bowl. They're actually still around, but they focus, believe more on just the, touch up and bumper spot repair. But back in the day, man, you could go there and learn everything. You could do dents, windshields, interiors, bumpers, touch ups. Like it was a training school right in Saginaw.
Yeah. Similar to like a Ding King or whatever. Yes. They're teaching all the whole kit and caboodle of auto recon, more or less.
Exactly. And listen, I ended up there instead of Ding King because I could drive to Saginaw, Michigan, and Ding King was in California. So
right.
It was just an economical decision.
Geographical, economical, all of the above. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So now, and then that was 20 years ago, and you've done so much in your illustrious PDR career.
You do a little bit.
Yes. I first became aware of you way back in the PDR college days when you had the PDR Marketing Minute segment. That would have been what, like?
Man, would that have been
2012, 13?
Probably 13, 14, I would think. I would have to go back. I've since killed the Marketing Minute. But yeah, so the way that came about was Keith Cosentino, right? Changed everybody's world. Well, while he was changing everybody's world, he started doing some private coaching, and I hired him to be a coach. And he took me in a year from where I was at and attending the advanced skills seminar to the next year having my podcast ride on their show, and ended up on stage at advanced skills. Right. So hats off to Keith and Shane for putting all that together, and Keith specifically for pulling me out of my shell and getting me, on my way to where I am today.
Yeah. Yeah. And nowadays, obviously, you have the Dent Repair Now shop in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And multiple employees. Obviously, you run a tight ship. From what I've been lucky enough to be at your shop, and
I think there might still be some Dent Reaper stickers next door.
that wasn't me. I did hand out the stickers. I didn't put them.
Well, the legend still lives on there.
Sorry, but what's the name of that place again?
Bishops
Corner
Cafe.
Fucking A, Katie.
Yeah.
Anybody that was there that night knows what I mean. Poor Katie. She was a great sport, a great bartender, and we had more fun than should probably be legally allowed. Probably.
It may not have been legal.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I tapped out early that night. Yeah. But yeah, so Dent Repair Now is my PDR company. We've got myself plus 3 other technicians. Melissa is my right-hand woman. Then we've got Jennifer, who fields all of our inbound calls. And we've got a new hire, Dana, who we've brought on for some outside sales and project development. So, yep, moving forward, growing up.
You're all grown up. You're all grown up. And now you are also doing, and kind of the focus of the show, I would say, is the GPR training. This is part of the training series here on Dents and Dreams. And I first became aware of your GPR training. I think it was at John Scotto's Northeast Dent Tech meetup there in Boston. And
that was
did that
just before the world shut down, right? I remember there was COVID signs when I was driving down the highway. And we were all like, COVID, what?
We all went to dinner one night, and the our hostess was like, "Oh yeah, my high school got shut down today because somebody has COVID." And I was like, "Oh sweet!" And you're just here breathing that into my face,
right?
But everything was fine, and that was the beginning of the end, right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that meetup. So I had been with Kiko for, I guess, almost a year at that point. But yeah, we came out. Scotto was having that meetup. What did we have? We had to have 40 people there.
Yeah, that was I would venture to say a little bit more than that even.
Yeah, I was at least 40, maybe 50 some. It was the group picture that Chris Ray put up was, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was a really good showing. And you did a hell of a repair. Well, on that, what was that, Suburban or a Yukon?
Yukon, one of the two. The black one with the smash and the door jam gap was opened up. It was hit so hard. That was quite the smash for sure.
Yeah.
But the GPR training that I do for Kiko is, man, incredible. The forever, right? Us as PDR guys, we were like, I don't know, is it going to stick? Is it not going to stick? Did we sacrifice our virgin to the glue gods before we started this hail car? I don't know. And Chris, Chris White comes from an engineering background, right? And he's like, well, there has to be a process, and that's what he's done. Is he's broken glue pull repair or glue pulling down to a process, a repeatable process. And that's what we go around and teach. And man, it really changes games. So obviously we teach a lot at body shops, but I've also had plenty of 20 plus year PDR techs come through the training, and I'm just getting through the slideshow, and they're like, man, I can't believe I didn't know any of this stuff, and then they're off to the races. And it really opened up.
We got some people saying, hey, Gene, GPR master, Facebook users. We got Facebook users everywhere. Guys, click the link so we can see your name. What's up, Martin Sadler must be in the house.
Nice. Yeah, Martin's a glue puller, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Cliff
Nice.
Rabbit.
There's Cliff. What's up, Cliff?
Cliffy. Yeah. And more users. A lot of users today.
Man, what's up, Facebook users? Good to see you.
Yeah. Click that link so we can see your name, guys. And fire your questions at Gene at will here.
Yeah, happy to answer any questions for sure.
So the process has definitely evolved, and Chris Allen jumping in saying,
"What's up, Chris Allen?"
We got to give Christopher Allen his proper due. He's a scientist as well in breaking some of these processes down. So
yeah, that's good. I mean, it's when you can make something a process, it becomes repeatable.
Absolutely.
That's where it lies. And I'll tell you, man, I just love teaching. I love the opportunity that I've had with Kiko to go out and find the fire I have for teaching people, and to refine my presentation skills and my stage presence, and really work through trying to explain exactly what you're doing while you're doing it. Right? It's pretty cool. What's up, Josh?
Oh yeah, Josh Dragos just popped in. Hey Josh, how you doing, brother? Yeah.
So and really, it's taken me all over the country. I've seen a lot of really cool stuff. Met tons of really, really great people. That's the glue pull repair training has been an absolute blast.
Yeah. So, and most of that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it, most of it is kind of geared toward the auto body shops that where Kiko is trying to teach them glue pull repair to avoid damaging the panels with, whether it be just cutting them off and replacing them, or welding studs on there and doing traditional auto body repair styles.
Yeah, so techniques. you are correct. A lot of the glue pull repair training is designed to teach body repair technicians how to use glue pull repair. So what we're seeing is some manufacturers now are getting to no stud welding on the car, period. Jaguar, Land Rover, Tesla, I believe Rivian, they're all saying cold repair only, no stud welding at all. And then even when you move into some of the other cars, your higher strength steels are so thin that if you're allowed to stud weld, that stud starts to create distortion, making for more difficult repairs. So with glue pull repair, right, always a cold, safe option. We're able to go in and repair panels that with traditional methods were unrepairable, right? Like if you're following the book, you can't do it. Also, way less invasive repairs, right? So John, you live in the north, I live in the north, right? We get salt, cinders, sand, all these corrosive, abrasive things that get into cars and destroy paint. You just can't recreate that factory protection from corrosion, right? We, through glue pull repair, can come in and leave that factory corrosion, those factory seals, the factory welds, the factory e-coat, both front and back. Right? We can save that with glue pull repair. Now, yes, you're correct that we're geared towards auto body repair, and that's where we go and do most of our training is through body shops. However, you've been in PDR, what, 10 years, John? 11? 10,
12, yeah. 2010. 2010.
Okay, yeah, 12 years. Look at how PDR repairs have evolved over the last decade.
Yeah,
right? You're
it's
going from
crazy.
like, this used to be a big dent. Now, Bryce Kelly is like recreating works of art and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Using the glue pull repair process, specifically our 6C process, we not only allow body repair technicians to make better repairs, we help PDR techs level up their game and fix larger damage to a better, faster, cleaner level. Right? I wouldn't be able to do some of the smash work that I do without glue pull. Right? It's
Oh,
just a
yeah,
must
it's
have. Like, there's no question.
definitely a must have. And now with the ratchet strap pulling and the linear
Tension. Yep. Tension
tension
pulling.
methods. Yeah. The Fairmont method, as good old Marty
Yes.
Runick used to call it.
Yes.
And that's the first time I ever heard of it. And now it's a regular thing. You see a lot of guys utilizing Kiko's new linear tension apparatus. I don't know.
It's the tension pull system. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a specific name that I'm drawing a blank on. But yeah, the tension pulling. And I'll tell you guys, when you start playing around with experimenting with what a tension pull does and how that softens the repairs you're going after, it's like, certainly the term game changing or the game changer flows pretty easily in our space. However, I will tell you that adding proper tension pulls to complex damage changes the world. It changes what's going on. It lets you fix things that you couldn't fix. And also, don't be confused that, I've seen videos where guys are taking porta powers and you're porta powering the panel out. When I got to work with Marty in Sacramento at the meetup and demo our tension tool, it was not much tension at all. Like, Marty was there looking down the panel and we've got a ratchet on it and we're like, just a little turn. He's like, stop there, tap, and then tap a little bit. And he's like, all right, a little bit more tension. Like, you were working at a very finessed level, but it just makes repairs so clean. Absolutely.
Yeah. And when you've seen it in action and you understand the forces at play and you understand how much easier your crowns are going to go down or your body lines are going to come back up because of that linear tension, it's amazing. So yeah, I would encourage anyone and everyone to try it especially if you're in the big smash space.
Yes. So the visualization I like to give is, if this is our dent, the dent doesn't just move out, right?
Yeah.
When this panel is here and it got dented, look at my wrists, right? They don't just fall in, they come this way, right? So when you get damaged, the panel folds in this way. If we can grab and pull out here, right, instead of just moving out this way, now we're letting the metal flow back to the direction that it was damaged in. We're flowing it back out that way. So when you can move, that adds like a third level of movement to your repair. So we talk about dual action moves where you're bringing up a low and knocking down a high at the same time. When you can bring up a low and knock down a high while you're pulling laterally, it's just, you turn that sheet metal into clay, right? It will just do what you want it to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy how far we've come, because that was, early in my career, not even, I had never heard of anybody talk about that until I don't even know when. And credit where it's due, Marty Runick talked about the Fairmont method. I don't know.
He goes back to the Doording.com days.
Yeah.
Like, legitimate pre-social media, when forums were the social media.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know if it was just that the glue technology or the tools available. I don't know why it didn't catch on at that point.
Well, I think
But
there weren't any tabs, right? I can remember back to, and Marty still may do it this way. I can remember back to Dording.com, and Marty was taking the nail plates you use like for deck building in a hurricane zone, right? So just
yeah.
these metal plates full of holes. And he's like, guys, if you just take this and put glue all over it and glue this, and I'm like, dude, you're gluing metal to paint? What do you like? This can't be good. And I think so many of us were afraid to like think outside of our little box that we didn't do it. Keith hopped up on stage and he's like, Marty, you've been trying to tell us for 20 years how to do this, and we're finally starting to listen. So thanks. And even Chris White will tip his hat, and he got the idea for the tension tool from Marty. Like from watching Marty's stuff, Chris was like, man, we need to figure out how to do this, and went after it. So yes, absolutely.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and then you do these trainings and body shops and whatnots and different dent tech meetups, obviously, Scotto's that I saw you at.
Yeah.
And
we did Scotto's. I did the Sacramento meetup.
Yeah, that was recent, right? That was just
that was
this spring.
That was this summer, I think. Early summer. I don't know, man. I travel so much that it all blurs together. But earlier this year, we'll call it, I was in Sacramento. I was just up at, me and Melissa actually went, we were up at Doug Hillius's shop up in Seattle. I am supposed to tell everybody that it is rainy and ugly in Seattle, and it's not somewhere you want to go. That was my deal with Doug, is I have to tell them that the weather's bad.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Okay. Don't blow up his spot now.
I'm not.
Blow up his spot.
I'm not. Listen, the cost of living up there is obscene for sure. But we went up there and did that. And then, of course, anytime we're at, you got to see when you came to our Dent Tech meetup last year, right? I love to nerd out on some glue pulling. And we even had, we had the dead center tabs and Keith's gangrene tabs and the Reaper finishing tabs out, and we were sort of going through and looking at all the little nuances that each kind of pull makes. And man, that's some glue nerd stuff, but I'm definitely a nerd.
Yeah. Something just popped into my head, and I think it was at an MTE, I believe, just in booth demo, and it might have been the first year of Vegas. It might have been the second. I don't really remember, but you walked me through reading the glue.
Damn it, I owe you a drink.
Oh yeah, yes you do. Let's before we get into reading the glue, say what up to James Bernard, and thanks for bringing that up, James. Are we gonna be at Andy Patrick's Dents for Kids meetup Saturday, November 19th in Dixon, Tennessee at the Dapper Dent Repair Shop? That's a hard yes from me.
Hard yes from me and Melissa as well. We will be there.
Yeah. And I did talk to Andy about it before I booked my accommodations, and I will share with everybody here that if you're going to book a hotel, you're probably best off to book downtown Nashville. So my understanding is here's my travel plans. I'm flying in Friday. We're hanging out in Nashville. Saturday morning, we go down to Andy's shop in Dixon, whether I hitch a ride or just get an Uber down there for the day. We're going to hang out. And then after the meetup, Andy is planning on everybody going downtown Nashville, hitting up Broadway, seeing the sights and whatnots. Andy says there's not a ton of fun to be had in little old Dixon, but Nashville's where the party's going to be at after the meetup. So book your hotel in Nashville. Did you book a hotel or did you book in Dixon? Because you got a look on your face like, shit, I didn't.
No, I believe we are staying in Nashville.
Okay,
I believe
good.
Yes. Yes.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. And I did post a link with all the pertinent info in the Dents and Dreams Facebook group. So check that out and or hit up Andy Patrick at Dapper Dent Repair if you have more questions on that. But yeah, we'll be collecting toys, and there'll be some giveaways, I know, from Dent Reaper for sure. And I understand quite a few other tool manufacturers and resellers, and I'm not exactly sure who all is coming, but I think there's going to be a couple different tool trucks there, and there's going to be tons of fun to be had. So
Well, it's
hopefully
certainly
everybody
a great
can make
time.
it.
I'm sure of that, without a doubt.
Yes, and
I'm really looking forward to that trip.
And I would like to state for the record for everyone that additionally, it's a write-off.
It is a write-off. Your donations should also be a write-off as well, right? So let's flood these guys with toys. All right, maybe make Andy go rent a U-Haul truck or something to get them donated. So yeah, that's what we want to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So let's see. Did we miss anybody else? Dragos. Somebody else was saying Jag and Land Rover's been cold repair for aluminum for years.
Yep, absolutely. We were
another user giving us the shout outs. Users. Yeah. So yeah, cross contamination for PDR and aluminum panels stops cross contamination. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And really, glue pull repair is the least invasive repair possible, right? On a factory finish where you're not gonna, there's essentially no potential harm to the finish, right? Like you're not touching the backside, you're only touching the front side, and it is actually pretty incredible what you can do with glue now, right? Like forget about just what can be done in a PDR world. Put a high level tech who's good with glue on a panel, and I mean you can fix some crazy stuff with just glue. I did a live stream. You'd have to go way back in the Kiko collision group, but I did a live stream of a smash on a Grand Cherokee door, 100% glue pull. Right, I planned on just starting with glue, and it was going so well that I just ran through with the whole thing and did it 100%. Probably in PDR tech speak, 98% of perfect repair on a smash with glue. Like that's as good as pushing, really. I mean, it was a spectacular repair. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, got to love it. Yeah. Do you find? And now I'm getting off the glue reading topic, but as long as we're talking about this, I do want to get back to that. But do you find that some of these body techs, the newer guys, struggle more with the glue pulling end, or do they struggle more with the knockdown and or blending hammer aspects?
So the first place they struggle. So the way we work, right? The day we have a slide that we put up called the continuum. So we always start with large damage, and then that becomes smaller damage to finish. The first place I see body tech struggle is in dialing back their aggression, both with the pull and the knocking down, right? They want to yank, right? Instead of reading the metal, right? Or just go with the K-beam and crank. I like to slow them down. And then their hammer, man, they just want to like swing from left field and just beat stuff in because they're used to like, man, I just got to get this low enough to grind it down and fill it full of mud. And that's not what we want them to do. So the first place they struggle is in dealing with a little bit of finesse. And then once they learn how to use a light and read it a bit like we do as PDR technicians, they struggle, just like we all struggled, with the finesse side of things, right? When you're trying to hit that high spot with your knockdown, right? And you're like, I don't know, is it here? Is it here? Or is it's right here? A little bit of finesse. I really just preach to them to like go slow and take your time. And then in the process, I really like to drive home that it is a much easier skill to gently lift with a lifter and not over pull like we tend to, right? But gently lift up and make 2 or 3 pulls instead of one overly aggressive pull, because it's much easier to knock down a subtle little high spot than it is a sharp peak. So there's definitely a learning curve. It also blows my mind with how good these guys are at moving metal. Once they understand, some of the messages I get with how far these guys are taking these smashed in panels just blows my mind.
Yeah. Tons of really, really talented techs came from being previous body techs. And Cliff's in here. He's one that comes to mind immediately. But it just seems like the guys that get it from that line of work just get it all the way.
Yep.
So much faster than someone coming in cold, like myself, who had, never worked with metal on that capacity.
So. Yeah, right. Dude, I was just a detailer, right? I just knew how to make paint shiny. That's unclean dirt. Like, that's what I could do. No idea about flat or anything. I mean, it looked easy. Charlie'd come in, bam, bam, bam. Here's your bill for $100. I'm out the door. And I'm like, man, I gotta work. I'm gonna work on this car for 4 hours, detailing it for $100 back in the day. Mm-hmm. And the dent guy thing sounded easy, dude. A gun case, a truck, an LED or a fluorescent light, and you're off to the races. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't quite work that well. So right out of the gate,
it's crazy how those things work out. But yeah, back to this glue reading, because you're the first person who ever said you got to read the glue, and it threw me for a loop, and I had never really considered it before, and now every time I look at it, I think of you. So thanks for that.
Nice. Well, let's talk for a second about what reading the glue is. There we go. We didn't get a response from Andy because he fell asleep.
Right?
Yeah, but he gets up at like 3 a.m. to go to work. So
yeah. You're allowed to take a nap. You're allowed to take a nap as long as you're awake on the 19th of November. We already talked about the event, Andy. So he's in here now. If anybody's got questions, hit him up. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So reading the glue first, like if you get a bad pull, that reading the glue is the first place to look, right? So, right, it's not all about sacrificing virgins to the glue pull gods, right? It really is just most of the time it's a temperature issue. So read your glue. If you get a bad pull and you end up with residue on the face of your tab, that right away should tell you, man, I pulled too soon. It was still too hot. Flip side, get a bad pull, right? We're coming into the winter. I'm sure it's getting cold up there. I mean, we're 70 today, but we were 40 yesterday. If you pull and your glue cracks or breaks, or man, a whole chunk rips right out of the middle of the tab, or right out of the middle of the glue tab, the glue face, instantly should tell you you're too cold, right? You need to be watching temperatures. We find that you want to pull between 75 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit for us over here in the States. I can't remember the Celsius numbers. If anybody's watching across the pond, you'll have to do some math. And then from there, you can read your glue and get nuanced and understand what your tab is doing, right? Because at the end of the day, super efficient, high level glue pulling comes down to understanding what kind of high spot your tab is going to pull. So what we did at my meetup, when John brought his tabs, and again, I had dead center tabs, and I had Keith's gangrene dead center tabs. So we had a few different materials and designs. As you're pulling, each of these different materials and designs pulls a slightly different shape, right? So probably like our ice dead center and your Reaper tab are going to pull the least focused of the finishing tabs, right? They've got a bit more of a rigid face, and they will flex less to the center. Still to the center, but less to the center. Then moving down from there, like Keith's gangrene material with our dead centers, that tab face flexes a little bit more. So that's going to focus your pull to a little tighter high spot. And then our solid blue material, the original Kiko blue, is the most flexible. And that is going to pull the smallest spot in the middle. right? And that works across the board with all the different shapes and sizes and designs. But like, if you want to see what that looks like, get a scrap panel, right? And as best you can, control all of your variables, right? Like, get in the shop, make sure it's 75 degrees, your glue gun's good, glue, wait until it reaches 85 degrees, and then just give it a pull and make a high spot. And you can actually go back and look at the high spots they've made, and corresponding to that, you'll see a little bit of distortion in the face of the glue residue. The glue tab itself will show you where the pull focused to and how big that focus area is. Again, we're getting way nerdy and deep here, but as a glue nerd, that's pretty good stuff.
I think that's what you want in your trainer, somebody who has nerded out to that level. And for the record, Steve Wood says 28 degrees Celsius.
28 Celsius. There you go. So around 28 Celsius. And that sounds about right. I knew it was in the 20s somewhere, but I wasn't going to guess.
Yeah. And I'm not going to do the math. I'm just going to trust Steve Wood. Thank you, Steve.
That's right. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. But yeah, that I do remember you doing that test for more reasons than one. But yeah, on that panel. And yeah, it was cool to see how, I mean, and some of the nuances we're talking about are fairly minute on, from one tab to the next. But yeah, it all makes a difference. And, understanding those differences is powerful when you're working, when you know what you're working on and you know what you're going for. It just makes things more efficient.
It does help you to be more efficient. In fact, like following these rules and techniques, I guess, and nerding out on this at the Southern Dent Trials, somebody backed out, and Christina talked me into competing. We're not going to talk about how the other dents went. And hats off to Jean Zan for the win and Manny for second place. That dent that gave a lot of people grief, knowing my nuances and following the rules, I had my rail flat in 4 pulls. The rest of my pulls were to make the rest of the area look better in the competition, right? So understanding and knowing all these nuances helps you to be more efficient, significantly more efficient.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. Know your nuances.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a powerful piece of information there. So,
yes. Yeah. And certainly I'll be if anybody's going to MTE, we're doing our Kiko talk. And as far as I know, since I'm leading the talk, we will probably be talking process and technique in there, right? I really like to get as many PDR techs up to speed as I can. And if Andy has the stuff and that kind of stuff is going on, I'd be happy to do a little demo and talk at the meetup in Dixon, Tennessee on November 9th.
19th.
Bring toys. I'll teach you some glue pull.
November 19th. I just want to say for the record. Yeah.
November. Did I say December?
You said the 9th.
I'm sorry.
19th.
My bad.
That's
November
that's a 1 and a 9.
For
yes,
sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Andy says awesome. Yeah. Get a scrap panel or a retail customer with a big smash, either or. Gene will fix it.
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something up and I'll talk through it and we'll be good to go.
Love it. Yeah. So there's another good reason to head on down to the Dents for Kids event, November 19th at Andy's shop. So
Andy's giving away a tension puller.
Let's go.
There it is.
Let's go.
There's another good reason. And demo it and then give it away.
Yeah. And as long as we're talking about glue, I heard a rumor that there's going to be a bunch of Dent Reaper glue given away there as well. So
nice. Nice.
For anyone who shows up with a toy anyway. And James has toys coming. Toys are coming from James Bernard.
Beautiful.
And he wants to know if James wants to know if he's excused from winning. I don't. That's not up to me, James. But you do give a lot of stuff back when I know you win stuff, but you also give back. So maybe that's why you always win, because you always pay it forward. So James Bernard, I'm not sure if you're aware, Gene, but James Bernard wins more contests than anyone I've ever seen. So
yeah.
He should.
Well,
if I was him, I'd buy a lottery ticket every day.
Andy said he's keeping all your glue stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I did tell you can do whatever you want with it. So, and he's gonna
have my glue supply for the next year.
Yes, sir. So maybe he'll give it away one stick at a time. How about that?
Nice.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks, brother. But yeah, so there'll be tons of giveaways from tons of different companies. So lots of good tool companies going to be there. Who's all going to be there? Tool trucks wise and stuff, Andy. Maybe put that in the comments too.
Yeah, Andy, comment up who's coming tool supplier wise. What who's coming into town and what's going on.
Yeah. So while he works on all that, so beyond just training all these GPR stuff, you are also training in the business realm.
Yes.
with the PDR 20 group, which I have been fortunate enough to be a part of here for the last year at least, and that has been an amazing experience for me. If you need a testimonial, I can provide that.
Well, thank you, sir. We do appreciate that. Yeah. So the 20 group, we're coming into our third year. I think technically maybe just over 3 years, but our third season of the 20 group, and that is a group of 20 currently slightly over 20 members, and we get together monthly and discuss business on a deep level, and then get together a few times a year. We've done video shoots. We've had keynote speakers. We've had industry speakers. It really is as much as I love training, I think I love masterminding and being with fellow business owners at least as much, if not more. Right? I've always joked that if I could just mastermind all day, every day, and make a living, that's probably what I would do. But yeah, so the 20 group is great. It's a virtual meeting once a month that we do, an ongoing chat. This year, we're working on a really cool project that we're just diving into, and that's really a playbook on best operation practices for a PDR business, right? Designed by the collective knowledge of the group. It's going to be a daunting undertaking, but people are excited about it, and we've already got a chapter completed, and it's sort of mind blowing.
I talked to a few of the guys that went to Arizona, which was unfortunately unable to go, but sounds like you guys made a lot of headway down there. So
yes, yeah, the brainstorming event in Scottsdale was out of control. It was to come back and then dial all those brainstorming notes into a readable chapter was pretty crazy, and it's amazing to watch. We've personally grown in our business, but to watch members of the 20 group grow. Andy's a member, right? To watch how taking the knowledge and the camaraderie and the relationships that are built in the 20 group and getting into growing your business, growing your life, both inside and outside of PDR, right? Like not just growth with your PDR business, but growing your professional self as a whole into other businesses and other investments. And yeah, it's been a really cool ride, and we're looking forward to another year. We may have a spot or two open, so if anybody is interested there, hit me up, email me, message me on Facebook, shoot me a text. Don't
What's,
fax me. My
we
fax
got
is
a website or a link maybe somebody could go to if they wanted to look further into that?
for PDR 20 group. Yes, it
Yeah.
is PDR 20 group.
Let me just get a pen here. PDR 20 group.
Yep. .com. Let's make sure it's not broken because we got another website we're going to talk about, right? And it may or may not be broken, but yes.
All right. What?
PDR20group.com.
PDR 20 group. Group.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So getting back here, Andy's peppering the comments.
Yeah, he's blowing you up.
Let's see. So he's got, sounds like Chris Howe.
Nice.
With Anson, and Tim and Bonnie with PDR Finesse are going to have their vans down there. There's going to be a wood-fired pizza truck there as well. And he's got giveaways coming from PDR Finesse, Stucky, Kiko, Anson, Edgy, Get a Grip, A1, Dent Craft, and some Reaper glue. And I think I'm going to donate a rod set as well. I haven't decided. Maybe you guys can all comment which rod set. I don't know if I do Reaper picks or the new 6-inch super sights. What would tickle everybody's fancy the most for that? Let me know in the comments there, guys, and we'll go with the group on that. But yeah, and then Andy wants to give a PDR 20 shout out as well. He said it did fast forward his business. Grateful to you and Melissa, and yeah,
we love you too, Andy.
It is something special, and I enjoy those meetings a lot. So
good, very good. That's what we like to hear. It's why we do it. That is why we do it. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Cliff
says Archangels or Reaper picks. Okay. Well, that's what I pick one, Cliff. Come on, man. Andy says he doesn't have the sights yet. Okay. Or James. Did I say? Yeah. James Bernard.
Right.
James Bernard said it. Anyway. Oh, wow. How can I ignore that? Well, thanks, Andy. I appreciate the love. Anyway, shameless plug. So,
it's your show. It's not really a shameless plug. You can plug as much as you would like.
Oh, well, I suppose there's that. But we don't do it for the plugs. We do it for the people. So, speaking of doing it for the people, beyond your GPR training, beyond the PDR 20 group, now you are you're looking forward, and you got another training focused venture on the horizon here. And,
yes.
Yes. Tell the good people what that's all about.
So we are launching a training business independently, right? Me and Melissa are starting this, and this is the first place I'm announcing this, right? So worldwide.
I don't know if you remember the MTV News exclusive. I need one of those. I need one of those banners.
Oh, my globe went. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do remember those. What was
exclusive?
That MTV News was it Kurt Loder? Was that his name?
Kurt Loder. Oh yeah.
Yes.
The MTV News exclusive.
Back when MTV had music videos.
Yes, those were the days.
Absolutely. So one of the first things we are doing, without being too broad, we're going specific. Myself, and I guess since this is primarily a U.S.-based show, Zan, aka Jean Vidic from Slovenia, are going to be offering some in-person training events in Pittsburgh at my shop in the end of February, beginning of March. So we're getting together. If you haven't heard of Jean, I think he's now officially a 7-time winner in dent competitions. And
Dent trials, Dent Olympics, multiple times,
World Cup,
PDR World Cup. Yeah, he's
like so. I will tell you that I think I'm a pretty damn good PDR tech. At my peak, I am not anywhere near as good as Jean is. Having had the chance to inspect his work like up close under a microscope. Listen, there's no way this dude is from Earth, right? They like,
he's
there's some like Men in Black, dude's an alien kind of stuff going on.
He's very competitive. He's highly skilled, and he nerds out on those processes more so than anyone. And if you've ever talked to him about what goes into his competition prep, you'll understand why he is consistently winning, because he does not leave any detail undiscovered, because he just has that drive to win.
Well, listen, he's like a professional athlete. We went to the dent trials, and I came down not just for the show, but to talk to Jean and finalize details for this training, right, that we're going to put out there. And we went out to dinner Friday night, and on our way to dinner, he said, "Listen, I got to tell you, you need to have me back to my hotel room before 10 o'clock, and I'm allowed to have one beer." He's like, "Tomorrow's competition day, and it has to be that way." And I'm like, this is why you didn't go out to dinner with Videy. Right?
Yeah. So he does. He steers clear of me until he's got the trophy in his hand.
Yeah. And then he'll cut loose and have a good time. But we went to dinner sort of away from everybody else so we could meet. And I got him back to the hotel room at 9:50. And I will attest that he had one beer. But man, does he take that competing dead serious. Dead serious. I mean, he's showing up for a professional championship sporting event every time he shows up. And then he performs. I mean, just the dude is unbelievable to watch. So this training, so we're doing, it's 2 weeks, but it's going to be 2 classes twice. So we're doing the first 3-day session, and we're only limiting it to 4 people per class. We want hands-on attention, right? This is not a one-to-many. This is 1 to 2, 1 to 3 work through. The first class is our level up class, and that is like for the technician. I hate to put a time frame on it because, man, there's just some studs that come out of the work that like at 2 years are better than I was at 10 years. But the technicians who are looking to like get better at finishing, right? To really dial in the cleanest repairs, learn how to start tackling deeper damage, right? Stuff that's bordering on stretched. We're going to introduce shrinking with the Power PDR box right after cold shrinking techniques. Shrinking there, of course, I will be teaching a lot of advanced glue pulling, right? Starting larger damage to get the metal flowing, teaching metal flow to move through, and some sales and estimating practices, right? As much as we all want to be great technicians, if you can't go back and sell your new skill set for the right dollars, you're losing anyways.
There's tons of fun, I'm sure, in the glory of it all, and nothing feels better than making a terrible looking car look beautiful again.
Right.
But if you can't get paid properly for it, it's not sustainable. So
No, it's not. At the end of the day, we're all in business to make money and turn a profit, right? That's what it is all about, is making money. So we're going to teach you all of that in the Level Up course. So that's going to be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of each week, 4 spots only. And then the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, is Smash School. And that is going to be, right, if you've attended Level Up, or if you're in your career where you're ready to get off the porch and start running with the big dogs and you want to get into some big dents, we are going to do that. And this class is all hands-on, right? Very, very minimal theory, but all hands-on, deep, big rail damage, actual door smashes, advanced fender repair, and quarter panel repair, right? Live cars, live panels. And then in that, not just sales and estimating, but live sales and estimating with customers pushing back, customer pushing back, right? And teaching you how to sell at an even higher level. So that's going to be another 3 days, right? So if somebody wants to come in and do both, you are in for 6 absolutely jam-packed days. And like Andy said, Pittsburgh's a great place to visit. Not only is Pittsburgh a great place to visit, even in the winter, it is a cool place, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to have food. And me and Melissa love to host. So if we're hosting training and we've got people here, you're going to eat well, you're going to have fun. We're not going to drink a lot because we've got a lot to learn, but I'm sure we'll partake in a beverage or two, without a doubt. So for those trainings, right, again, worldwide breaking news announcement, for you people who are live, simply message me, because as technology loves to do, the website broke, right? Like I was scrambling to get it back live before we went up with John here. Message me. If you are watching this later down the road, you can always message me, right? Find me on Facebook, Gene Fetty. You can put my email up, John, if you have it. They can email me direct at gene@dentrepairnow.com. The website will be upyourpdrgame.com. John may have that in somewhere as well.
it is in the description.
It's in the description. So upyourpdrgame.com. However, if you go there now, it's going to tell you that it's not secure and somebody's trying to steal your stuff. And then if you can get through that, it'll give you a 404, which is, like full on preparation for this. But please feel free to reach out to me direct. I'll get you the details. And really, it's almost going to be an application process. 1, because it's limited to 4 seats. But 2, we don't want you in the wrong class, right? We want to, it's not about filling seats. It's about filling minds. And we want to make sure that you're in the right place for the class you want or the classes you want. So
do you have a price structure for these classes?
Yes. So the seats are $5,000 each. Or if you want to double up and do both classes, it reduces to 4 each. So it'd save you 2. Yep.
20% savings.
20% savings. Absolutely.
Love it. And I'm sure a worthwhile investment for just about
100%. Yes. Listen, I may pay to go myself just so I can learn from Jean. Oh, man. No, but it is going to be I'm really excited for this training, and imparting my knowledge to PDR techs at a high level really excites me. And to see what Jean can teach just blows my mind, right? Like that. I'm telling you, it's some Men in Black stuff. We just got to peel the skin off or something, and there's a little alien in there.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I've learned so much just from talking to Jean, shooting the breeze.
Mm-hmm.
After specifically the one that comes to mind after the PDR World Cup, that was a smaller event, and we had a good long conversation after that, and I learned a ton from him about some of his processes and the way he goes about his competition preparedness. So I can't imagine being in a class with him for multiple days, and learning hands-on, with a
And
tool in your
again,
hand.
small class, right? There's not going to be anywhere for you to hide, which is good, right? And you're not going to have to stand in line to talk to anybody or wait your turn. Like, we are both going to be there the whole time to teach you exactly what's going on. And again, download all of these nerdy nuances that we have right there. Like, that's what it's all about. So reach out to me or visit the link if it's working in the show description.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll have her figured out within a reasonable amount of time.
Yes. The plan is to have that fixed today, but we will see how that goes and what my honey-do list looks like whenever I exit the studio and go see what Melissa's up to.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Just who are the Steelers playing tomorrow?
That's a question for Melissa, dude.
Yeah, well, if you know that and you can get her focusing on that, then
listen, we are having a bad season. So
yeah,
we play the Dolphins tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
night, prime time, Sunday night, NFL football.
Sunday night football, clash of the terrible quarterback. Is Tua going to be back for Miami?
Well, the question is, Tua going to be back, and then our new rookie Kenny is out. They pulled him with concussion protocol, so there's been talk that they're not going to play him because of concussion protocol and all the controversy surrounding Tua. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a question of, are they going to put him in, or are we going to leave old Mitch in to get it done? He pulled it off for us last week, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, you just never know. You never know. But best of luck to you. I got no dog in that fight, and if it makes Melissa give you a little bit more free time to do what you need to do, I'll say go Steelers.
There we go. Go Steelers. That's it. Andy, no, she did not tell me all of that. I've gotten pretty good at paying attention. And just because I'm not a fanatic doesn't mean I don't understand the game or what's going on. I just don't. My big investment in the Steelers is, what's Melissa's mood going to be like? So, the good news is this year she's given up hope. So the mood is not tied to the Steelers this season
quite as heavily. Yeah,
exactly.
It's a rebuilding year. So
yes,
especially after, I would imagine, especially after TJ Watt went down, that had to be when I saw that, I thought of
that's no good. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's definitely no good. And you know what I mean? This is our first season without Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
So, right. It's changing of an era. Like, it's a new era for us. It's just going to be a rebuild. But you'll have that.
Yeah. Well, it's a perfect year to rebuild and to build a new training program.
Yes. Yeah. So while the Steelers are rebuilding, we're building as well.
Love it. I'm sure you guys will be all raising your respective trophies at the same time.
Good.
Come 2023.
That's right. And really, guys, if I can help you with anything, whether it's glue pulling or training or business in general, I love to help technicians. So never hesitate to reach out, and I'll certainly get to you when I can. But I really enjoy teaching, talking, and helping. So anybody can feel free to reach out.
I'm in the same boat, and more technicians than you would imagine are in the same boat, and especially the guys you see, on social media posting on the regular. As I encourage all of the new guys, reach out to anyone. I know you see Gene and doing all these amazing things, but he really is just a dent tech who just loves what he does, and
just passionate about it. It doesn't feel like work to me.
Yeah. And I'm in the same boat. So if you guys have questions and you can't get a hold of Gene and you want less good advice, feel free to give me a call. But definitely just temper your expectations, because I'm not quite as good as Gene or Zan, but I do my best. I'll put it that way. So
There you go. And listen, if you're not coming from a glue pull guy, if you're not using the Dent Reaper tabs, go get you some Dent Reaper tabs, man. Those things are awesome. Just remember, do you want me to tell them they were finishing tabs so they don't break them? Or do you want me to just tell them to rip on them so you can sell them?
Well, no. I want everybody to get the best possible results. So yeah, the original Dead Reaper Dead Center tabs are going to be less durable than your standard glue tab. And yeah, it is not necessarily a grip it and rip it type of tab. The new crease tabs, I will be extremely surprised if we have any durability issues with those.
Dude, those new crease tabs are legit. They pull like a freaking freight train. Freight train.
And a lot of thought and redesigning went into making sure that those are more durable. So
those are, and listen, the newer iterations of the Reaper tabs are more durable. But listen, across the board, when you are talking finishing tabs, whether it's Dead Center or Reaper, or I don't even know all of the other names off the top of my, the gangrene tabs, they're finishing tabs. You don't need to go full send with those, right? You don't need to yank, right, with a huge slide hammer. You don't need to take a mini lifter or a robo lifter and rip these out, right? They're finishing tabs. One of the things that I talk about when I'm teaching is my original dent instructor from the paintball, Fred, having a discussion when he came into town to work some hail for us. And he gave me this line. He said, quit thinking about glue pulling as rough in and big moves, and start thinking about it as a precision move, and it'll change your game. You would never, these dents that you're going in and you're going full send on, would you ever take a tool and get in the middle of the dent and go full send and shove it high? Never, right? So pull more like you want to push, and you will have better, faster, cleaner repairs, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're going to break less tabs, right?
Yeah.
Which we probably shouldn't say as people who make tabs, but
having the right foot on your robo lifter, if you got the precision plate, or having your feet orientated appropriately to the rail or whatever it is. I mean, all of these,
and pull straight,
all of these,
right? Yeah. Like pull as straight as you can. If you're like this anyway, you're creating tension and your shear, right? Like pull straight. The straighter you pull, the stronger you pull, the less hard you have to pull, right? You should see me for some advanced glue pull repair training, and we'll go through all of this.
There you go. There you go. So whether you can make it to the classes or whatever else,
or come see me at MTE.
Yeah, go see him at MTE. Learn how to read glue. I did a few years ago, and it helped a lot. So, there's levels to this shit, guys.
Yes.
So
yes.
And Gene is. How many people would you say you've trained at this point?
I have to be over the 1,000 mark at this point. Like over the 1,000 mark. Yeah.
Yeah. So
have to be.
So there you go. He's experienced. He's considered every angle, and the angles he hasn't considered, he's probably had a question asked by one of his 1,000+ students. So a wealth of information. So
well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, shit, you have helped me along the way. So the least I could do. Is there anything we forgot, Gene? I mean, we're over the hour mark here, and I don't want to take too much of your time.
I don't think, man. Like it's again, feel free to reach out to me if you have questions about training. If that website's broken, hit me up. before the show, I was telling John that I originally went to schools for web design and networking, and the .com fell apart. So maybe I'm just doing something wrong in my rusty brain and broke it. But bear with us. But like, just keep getting better, right? That was always the outro to the PDR College podcast. That's how I. What's up, Matt Moore?
Matt Moore in the house.
That's how I live my life. That's how I live my career, is like to just keep getting better, right? Keep making that forward progress. And however you do it, right? Find what works for you and continue to get better. And I just don't settle, right? Like that's
definitely. Yeah. I'm in the same boat, same mindset. I mean, and I think a lot of the people that are listening to PDR podcasts or whatever, I think we're all in that same boat where, that's why we listen to these things. That's why we, pay attention to the new tools and techniques. And, these are the guys that'll be at Education Day at MTE and the type of people that will look into additional training, even though, they probably already have a successful business. But if you're not moving forward, you're probably moving backwards. So
yes. And I talk about, like, I guess I'll leave you on this note, right? As we all move through our career, and right, listeners to podcasts like this are generally higher level people. You're not gonna find something that changes your world, right? It's all about like being a NASCAR driver, and you're looking for that 100th of a second around this lap of the track, right? Keep finding those 100ths of a second and win the race, right? That's what it's all about. Just continue to get better and grow, right? Try to be Matt Moore when you grow up. He's one of my heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I gotta have you on still, Matt. We've talked about it too many times.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying it publicly.
Yes, calling you out.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, John, thanks so much for having me on, man. I appreciate the opportunity and always enjoy our conversations.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, and we will do it, Matt. We will. And thanks to everybody for listening. And I normally end the show with "Live Your Dreams," but I feel like we've got to go back. The last statement, go old school, and you can say Shane's line to kick us out here.
There we go. Well, then, get better.
Get better.
Get better.
See y'all next time.
See you guys.
Just wanted to thank you for listening to another episode of Dents and Dreams. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, compliments, or complaints, I can be reached at Dent Reaper across social media. And be sure to subscribe to the Dents and Dreams Facebook group and or YouTube channel, because that's where it'll happen if and when we go live. Thanks again.